Saturday, September 28th, 2019, and I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina, southbound on I-26. In a little bit, I'm going to be going over the Highway 17 bridge, which passes over Drum Island partway across. And at the far end of that will be Patriots Point, which is a naval museum that I'll be visiting. And then later today I'll be heading back up north a little bit in Charleston to the site where the Hunley submarine is currently located. This is the approach to the bridge. There's a nice view of it off to the left, although a bit distant.
On the right to South Carolina 703 toward Sullivan's Island.
It's hard to see, but you can see a little bit of Drum Island down there. A lot of people jogging across this bridge. This is the Arthur Ravenel Bridge, by the way, that's its name.
In 1 mile, take the exit on the right to South Carolina 703 toward Sullivan's Island.
Patriots Point location down there.
Be in either of the two right lanes, then take the exit to South Carolina 703. In 1/2 mile, be in the right lane, then turn right on Patriots Point Road.
So here at Patriots Point, there's the bridge we just came across. And we have an aircraft carrier. And there's also a submarine and another ship. I don't know. It's not big enough to be a battleship. I don't remember which one it is. We'll find out. From the same location, you can also take a cruise on the river here to Fort Sumter. It seems to be a separate enterprise, though, from the maritime portion of this. The Fort Sumter cruises are handled by the National Park Service because Fort Sumter is a national monument. So these are apparently the cruise ships for the Fort Sumter tour. Yeah, it was thunderstorming here last night. But today's a nice day. Time permitting, I'm going to see about getting a little helicopter excursion, fly over Fort Sumter or near it, and just explore the whatever this exactly is called here, if it's a bay or whatever it is, and the surrounding area. They've got something going on over there with helicopter hovering sounds and drums and so the aircrafter is the USS Yorktown, also known as the Fighting Lady. And I did visit this a long time ago when I was on a driving vacation through this area. I don't remember them having anything except the aircraft carrier at that time. And next to it is the destroyer USS Laffey, the ship that would not die. And somewhere around here, maybe it's that one over there, the submarine USS Clamagore, which we'll go to if we have time. This is one of those, it can go either way when you come to a ship like this, whether it's pretty much the way it was, so you can really see what it was like, or where they've turned it into something else. And this is one of those where they've turned it into something else. All sorts of weird junk around here. There's a Medal of Honor museum, which is not a bad thing, but it's just another one of the many things they've fit into this ship.
The American Army of Alaska, the Japanese ambassador to the United States, and his colleagues, the living Secretary of State, the
Got your B-25 here, configured as a Doolittle Raiders commemoration. And obviously they cater in a lot of meals and probably dances and things here too. Yorktown Yummies. I wonder if they're doing some restoration work there. Jeez. Self-guided tour number 1. Got the chapel. Freedom Shrine with reproductions of important letters and documents. Typical cruise washroom. Turbo generator display with cutaway. Diesel engine cutaway for emergency generator. This would have been a berthing compartment. 28 men could sleep and live in this compartment. Each man had a bunk and personal locker. Personnel were assigned berthing according to the work they performed on the ship. Gotta fill the yellow arrows. Descend to third deck, it says. This is the torpedo workshop. I'm sorry, we're not going down yet. Got your overhead cranes. More crews berthing. This time with the actual berths. Here we go downstairs. The scullery acted as an overflow kitchen, mainly used for cleaning and storing pots, pans, and utensils, but they could prepare food here. And they have a little display of models of various amphibious craft here. This is the Master-at-Arms office. Master-at-Arms were the ship's police, headed by the Chief Master-at-Arms.
So ein Flug, das so ein Atomara-Flugzeugträger ist, heute der wirklich eine Stunde gestartet. Und auch damals, glaube ich, waren das schon, also ich glaube, bis waren es so 1500 Mann oder so. Auch, das ist hier von Ende.
The dental clinic. Dental technicians worked in 4 dental operating rooms assisting the ship's 3 dental officers. Ship had facilities for x-rays, dental prosthetics, and any type of dental work needed by the crew. This is the vegetable preparation area. Cleaned and prepared in this space before being turned over to the galley for the day's meals. And this is the butcher area here, the butcher shop. Got the old band saw there and the coolers. Ship's galley. Fake muffins. Fake pineapple. Fake eggs. That's a nice touch. And this is the ship's laundry. Watch you go ahead. Dry cleaning machine, collar and cuff press, shirt folding machine, various iron presses, lots of those. Your washing machines. With simulated washing machine sounds playing over a speaker somewhere. And there's dryers on this side actually doing something. Nothing we're missing down here. Machine shop. It's a pretty good shop, actually. And they had this monorail overhead. Used to move large equipment to the various shops on this level and to hatches and elevators. Battle dressing station used to care for nearby casualties until after a battle, when they could safely be transported to sick bay without compromising the ship's watertight integrity. It's more of the machine shop. Alert. It's the ship's bakery. Is this the order things are supposed to happen in? No. Somehow I got off track here. Let's see. Machine shop, right turn. Battle dressing station, fire room, escape trunk, cruise galley. I definitely missed something. There's a repair locker here. This is an auxiliary entrance, I guess for people who can't climb the stairs. Continue tour 1. Okay, I'm following it. bakery. Lots of bread ovens.
Holy crap.
Rather bread baked
It's a merchant marine exhibit that we're going through here. It's supposed to be a cruise mess area. And we're into the cruise berthing area again. The elevator machinery room. This equipment operated at the elevator that is now used as the main entrance to the ship. Used originally to move aircraft between the flight deck and the hangar deck. Got all the cables and sleds. Sick bay. Medical spaces. X-ray dark room. Quiet room. Looks like a surgery. And more of the sick bay. Sick crew members would use this space to keep ailments from spreading throughout the ship. Randomly placed barber chair. Or maybe they did cut hair there, who knows. Ward manager's office. The ward manager maintained all health records and scheduled appointments. Sick call was held each day at 8 in the morning. 0800. really old wide format typewriter. And this concludes Tour 1. I have an F9F Cougar here, made by Grumman. First flew in 1951.
We'll pick up our lunch boxes in about 15 minutes.
This should be a Skyraider here. AD4N. And this is an F6, F5 Hellcat. That's a 1.1-inch anti-aircraft gun. This is an F4U FG1D Corsair. And over here is a TBM-3E Avenger. This is a F4F3A Wildcat. And this is an SPD Dauntless. They have a couple of spacecraft here. A Mercury spacecraft. I don't know if this is a, let's see, this looks like it's either a mock-up or a training model. Doesn't look like it's a flight ready or not flown, certainly. Yeah, all the switches and buttons and so on are, I think, different from what they would have actually used, and all the gauges are mock-ups. Supposed to be Friendship 7 according to the markings, but it clearly isn't. I don't see anything here saying what this is. It doesn't give its provenance at all. This also looks like a mock-up. Yeah, not the real McCoy. It's fake. funny, the signage would tell you that it's the real thing. It just says, oh, you know, this is a Apollo module, Apollo 8. That's kind of cheating, folks. The Apollo 8 Command Module Experience made possible by Bosch, who you might think would know enough to insist that the display indicate this is a mock-up or a simulator. And then we've got a biplane overhead, which is not identified. Nice place to get out and get some breeze. It's kind of stuffy on the hangar deck. Alright, let's go and take a look at the next couple of tours, which are located back this way a little bit, behind some of these airplanes. Okay, tour 2. It's the engine room tour. Very steep stairs here, and a good place to bang your head right there. Can't go that way. So, you see the fire room and the engine room, and that's it. And there's no place to go here. And obviously the engine room is down, so unlike the other tour, there were arrows pointing where to go. Here you get to figure it out yourself. Makes it more fun. And going down further is blocked. Engine room experience. Uh-oh. When they put experience on there, it makes me think it's touristed up.
Like 5 cars.
That's it? That's what we're on?
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't have made this any tighter, could they? This is supposed to be the main control area for the engines. We have to repeat part of Tour 1. Okay, speed walk through this part. Okay, now we got to come back around here. And instead of going down, we'll go up on Tour 3 to the bridge area. Flight deck and bridge. That's where we went down to the engine room there. Okay. This is the hangar deck control. The officer who worked here was in charge of planning, moving, and securing aircraft in the hangar bay, or the hangar deck. Got a nice little window that points in multiple directions. Okay. The ready room. This is the pilot's ready room, where they would be before they went out to their aircraft and get briefings and so on.
Modern warfare, the young plane captains are to their pilots what squires were to armored knights of old. In this operation, typical of many more to come, a lot of other fighting ladies will be involved. Nearly 2,000 carrier-based planes.
This is the one of the radio rooms.
Is that what you heard before? That's not?
Carrier Air Traffic Control Center.
No, there's somebody shedding holes and stuff. Is the radio room?
Looks like they have a lot of offices here for the docents and administrators of the ship.
It's like
Master Indicator Control Room. Equipment in this room receives signals from various radar sources and distributed the signals to radar repeaters throughout the navigation and tactical display areas. And this is the flight deck. Excuse me. So it looks like they're operating the helicopters today. With any luck, I'll be able to get on one a little bit later. This is an F4 Phantom, F4J Phantom 2 actually. This is a, as soon as I zoom out here, this is an E1B tracer. It has the big radar on the top. It is based on the C1A Trader. And the thing that mostly distinguishes this is the large aerodynamic radome on top. These joined the fleet in 1960. They didn't need a, they didn't have steam catapults for this here. This ship, I believe, dates from World War II.
Look at that one. That one's clearly a radar. I think it flies super high and does like radar stuff.
This is an FA-18A Hornet. Kind of too late for this ship, but still nice to see. This is an SH-3G Sea King. And this funny looking bird is an EA, that's EA-3B Sky Warrior. The largest and heaviest aircraft to regularly operate from an aircraft carrier. This is an A6E Intruder. This is an S2 Tracker. This is an arrestor cable here. This is an F-14A Tomcat. There's some sort of a big honking ship coming in here, being pushed along or guided by tugboats. The Valenius Wilhelmsen. Can't really make out. Just as soon as the ship passes here, there should be a view of the Castle Pinckney, constructed in 1810, one of the oldest fortifications of its kind still in existence. This is a A4C Skyhawk. I think when I'm done with the carrier here, I'm going to go down and see about a helicopter reservation. I don't know how busy they are. But that is very secondary to seeing the ships here. This is an A-7E Corsair II. And one of my favorite aircraft, the F-8, I'll say that again, F-8K Crusader. Always just like the way the front end of it looked. The rest of it doesn't do much for me. And this is an S-3B Viking. Okay, let's go to the bridge. It always seems like these things are a little bit unnecessarily tight. Couldn't they have made the conning tower, you know, or whatever it's called, an extra 2 feet wider? Would anybody have noticed? This is the Admiral's sea cabin. Sparsely equipped cabin containing a bunk, desk, toilet, shower, and washroom. This is the pilot house here that we're in, and the captain's bridge is out here, also known as the flying bridge. The forward bridge allows the captain to see more of the deck and improves his vision of the ship's surroundings.
You go with them. I'm going back now. Yeah, this is the way that you come up.
I'll go these two. Let me tell you. Y'all go ahead.
Captain's docking bridge. So going onto the captain's bridge here, or the flying bridge. This is the captain's chair. Or the officer of the deck uses it if the captain's not here. Now, I'm not really ready to leave this level yet. Go back around. Pretty sure it was possible to go up higher. Captain's sea cabin. Is this where it was? Or is this blocked? No, that's blocked. Can't go that way. Flag tub. Can one guess that they might keep flags in there? This is the radar deck and the coin slot telescope. Not original equipment. Looks like we can't go up any higher. I could have sworn I saw people up higher though. How did they get up there? Well, maybe not. Okay, I guess we've covered everything here. We'll go down. Lots of dead bugs.
Daddy, can you help me?
What's wrong, Logan?
Can't go down.
Yes, you can.
Where are you?
You can go down.
Hey,
Yeah, you could
up here.
Just hold on.
So then,
Here, hold on. You got it. One
you've
step
been
at a
down
time.
this before, Logan.
Yeah, but
You didn't have any trouble.
There you go. You got it.
With that.
go down the escalator.
Let's look what that next is.
What? The helicopter's landing. Okay.
Severed toes.
Ugh. Come on.
It's an old one.
What?
Yeah, if you cut your toes off.
Yeah, right here.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know this for
Just imagine if you could slide
take for
all the
granted
way
the ones in
down
the mall,
there.
right?
Don't you think it would be so fun if you could slide?
But there's no telling when. Oh, this was installed in 1953. I was gonna say.
Well, you could if you just put your butt up there and put your feet up like that. You might be able to slide all the way down, but you also might fall and hit your head.
Yeah, and let's not have to go to the hospital.
Oh, seriously. My grandmother's are 80s. you can do this, we don't have to worry about falling down the steps, right? You can do that.
I'm skipping taking video of Tour 4 because that is primarily various displays and things which won't make for very interesting video photography. But I am going to shoot video here on Tour 5, which shows more equipment on the ship. Tour 4, Tour 5, that's the one I want. Helpfully labeled Start Tour 5. Okay, the first thing we're supposed to see down here is the officer's galley. Or is this more of a ship's mess? It seems too big for an officer's. Of course, they had a lot of officers on here, and counting the pilots and everything, so maybe that's what it is. Room is not labeled. It's just the map identifies it as such. And then this is no exit from here. It's some nice memorabilia. Officer's country. Not a lot of signage here. And what I'm seeing doesn't match up with the printed map. Well, they apparently do have a catapult here, even though I didn't think they did. I didn't see any evidence of one on the deck, unless they covered it over. But this is identified as part of a steam catapult. This is the bomb fusing and rocket assembly area. Oh, warrant officer's mess. We missed the mess. Okay, ship's print shop. Got a couple of offset printers in there, and a paper shear and a hole puncher and some other good stuff. In my late teens, about the time I graduated from high school, I worked for the U.S. Army at Patch Barracks in Stuttgart, Germany, working in the print shop, and it looked very much like that. I was a civilian, but I got the job as assistant to the GI that ran the print shop, and then he got called away to the States for some medical situation. I never did hear the details, and they asked me, do you know how to run this by yourself, otherwise we have to transfer somebody here. I said, no, I know how to do everything here, I've been doing it. So for quite a long time, maybe a third of a year or something like that, I ran it by myself. So I think we have to go upstairs again. Ouch. That was a low ceiling there with no warning. Smacked my head into it. Right there. They do have it covered with foam though, which softened the blow. If I start slurring my speech more than normal, you'll know what happened. Okay, ascend to third deck, Marine Sentry Office. And the ship barber shop. It would seem like with as many men as would have been on here that they would have had more than one barber chair, and maybe they did originally. This is the soda fountain and ship's store. Wonder if they really sold plastic models of the planes. This is the soda fountain, where you could buy plastic cheeseburgers and somewhat more attractive looking plastic hot dogs, very realistic looking plastic ice cream, and very fake looking buttered popcorn. And I always heard that they ate well in the Navy. No place to bump my head on this one. Just a bunch of hatches and things that aren't described here. Whoever is in charge of Tour 5 could stand to take Tours 1 and 2 to see how the signage should be done. They have this officer's country area, but it's all padlocked from both sides. And then we go back down again. Wait a second. I've been here before, haven't I? No, I should not be doing this again. I'm repeating myself. This is supposed to be the typical 2-man officer stateroom. 2 desks, 2 beds, big locker, pretty decent. Alright, I've spent about 2 hours walking around on this ship, and I'm going to go back and see what the possibilities are for a helicopter journey, a little bit of a tour, and if I can work it into my schedule, I'll do it. If not, too bad. And one way or the other, I'll resume my sightseeing of the other 2 ships here. All right, coming back in, go back out and look at the Laffey. Well, I checked the schedule, and it looks like if I want to go out to Fort Sumter on one of these cruise boats, it's going to take more time than I still have left if I want to see the Laffey and the submarine, assuming the submarine's open. I have only about an hour and a half before I have to leave to go to the Hunley. What I wonder about large ships like this that are sitting permanently moored, and for all I know they've set them on a concrete cradle or something, but I mean, it's built down like it's a building now. There's no apparent flex to the stairs, so they don't have chains going to it or anything. I suspect this thing is permanently stuck to something on the bottom. That'd be my guess. Anyway, I was thinking about the ship here, and when these ships and many other old aircraft carriers, battleships, all sorts of things are permanently moored. You know, at some point originally, I think they would have, see, there's absolutely no cables or chains coming off of this. It's got to be stuck down somewhere so it's not moving around. And I don't know if this is the height of the tide here. I suppose so. But they can't dry dock this thing as far as I can tell. And with constant exposure to the salt water or the brackish water here, it would seem like eventually it would get some substantial rust issues that would be hard to remedy with it sitting in the water. I'm not sure what they do about that. gangway was way back there in the back and I missed it. I think I'm going to go to the sub first since I'm out here. Apparently there's a dungeon, an actual dungeon in the city of Charleston, downtown over there. And another helicopter flight starts out. This puppy's got some serious rust issues. It's probably the most derelict looking submarine I've seen on display. So this is the submarine Clamagore. Thing looks like it's been here a million years. Shower room or a head, but the head's missing if that's the case. This is the officer's mess. Officer's bunks. I suppose this is the other end of the officer's mess. Another officer's executive officer's quarters. And this is the captain's quarters. And some other officers' accommodations. And this is the yeoman's office. It's a very tidy little compartment.
All right.
Sonar room. Up to the conning tower. As usual, can't go up there. And that should be ship's batteries down there. This is the radio room.
Did you see anything up there? Breeze box.
This isn't the first sub I've seen that has something like this right in the mess, sticking out. The guys must just straddle those handles. Looks uncomfortable.
Patrols lasting up to 75 days, built to cruise 10,000 miles without refueling. When commissioned, they will be named for fish: Tully and Tang, Growler and Gudgeon, Sea Raven and Skate. On the New England coast, the killer fish are spawned that bleed at the vitals of Japan. Torpedo warhead is packed the equivalent of 1,000 pounds of TNT. With bold and skillful torpedo tactics, a single submarine can kill an enemy aircraft carrier, as the Albacore did in the Central Pacific. A perfect torpedo spread will sink the biggest battleship, as Sea Lion 2nd did in the East China Sea. These are targets every skipper dreams of. But there is another, less spectacular, more important target: the Japanese merchant marine.
Shower. Two sinks. A head. This is the forward engine room. after engine room. This is the electrical room, or the maneuvering room as it's properly called. I'm guessing this is the ship's engineer's office or storeroom or something.
Cool, huh?
Batteries. It's an electric torpedo. Mark 27 mine. This mine is a submarine lead pressure and magnetic influence bottom mine, which is launched as a torpedo. Battery operated, electrically driven, and electrically steered. It travels to a preset range. So this is your other torpedo room. And that's it. Well, I finally found the only place where I could see any mention of the fact that the Mercury and Apollo capsules on the Yorktown are just models, and that's only the word model mentioned in the handout flyer. Otherwise, everything else in there leads you to believe that it's the real artifact, and then in just one place it mentions the word model. Kind of slippery. It's like they were trying to hide the fact that it's a model. I'm not too fond of that approach. However, there is reason for an Apollo 8 representation to be here, because the Yorktown is the aircraft carrier that pulled the original Apollo 8 capsule out of the Pacific Ocean after it became the first capsule to go out to the moon. So now we're going on the USS Laffey.
Alright, don't play. You got other people who come in there.
They have a video and sense around kind of presentation in here, showing first how this gun mount, how many people were jammed in there doing various jobs, and then they have some video of the kamikaze attack on April 16th, 1945. When the Laffey was on picket duty off Okinawa. It was attacked by 22 Japanese aircraft, including conventional bombers and kamikazes. And it has pounders on the floor that shake the floor, and all sorts of subwoofers and things, and lighting effects, and the video screen showing footage. It's all very nicely done, except they don't really point out that I wouldn't have thought a gun mount of this sort would be used against airplanes, but maybe they did. Maybe they were just shooting everything they had at it. Ship's post office. This is the after emergency diesel generator.
Diesel generator space.
Ah.
Proceed to the generator control panel and turn the knob below the flashing red light to test the generator.
Number 2 engine room.
Skipper's really gonna be mad. You better go. I'll take the heat.
resuming the tour. What is this? Is this the dentist? This is the ship's store with Reese's Big Cup peanut butter cups. I'm wondering if those are authentic. Aft cruise head.
Yes.
It's a glancing blow, but the plane's ruptured gas tanks spew a lethal arc of combustible fuel. Then a ninth kamikaze pours in.
They were screening the US or the History Channel's film called Dogfights on the section dealing with the dogfight and kamikaze attack on the Laffey. I guess that's supposed to look like pepperoni. Looks like slices of beets.
You want to go up? Oh yeah.
That's easy, sweet.
Computer Mark I, Ford Instrument Company. Mechanical analog computer that was used on aircraft carriers, battleships, cruisers, and destroyers during World War II. Used for aiming the guns primarily.
Alright, paint yourself.
So it's doing a different route here, not going out over the Yorktown, but there are, I don't know, about 5 different canned trips that you can take on the helicopter. This is the forecastle. Forward deck of the ship derives its name from the days of sailing ships when the raised forward deck was known as the forecastle. So we were just in here. LED lighting. We already come here, radio room. Maybe I'm going off the reservation here. Radar room. Quartermaster's chart room. CO's cabin in port.
Uh-oh, I just got touched.
Soviet subs of the Echo November class are still out there. In response, America's first ballistic missile submarine, the USS Washington, left a secret facility in Charleston carrying Polaris missiles with nuclear warheads. 40 more ballistic missile submarines have been commissioned since then. Together, they are a crucial deterrent concealed beneath the sea. Still, every day, Soviet submarines
slowly make your way in and find a place where you can easily give your attention to the lieutenant standing in front. We invite you to sit in the seats at the radar screens or find a comfortable place to stand. Your 6-minute Cold War CIC experience will begin right away, and your attention throughout this experience is appreciated. You will be instructed when it is time to exit.
Lieutenant Waters, report to the bridge.
Welcome to the Combat Information Center, the nerve center of the ship.
You may now exit CIC. I hope you enjoyed this experience as well as the rest of your tour on the flight. Please watch your
sitting around about how to what they would go through, how they would say things to designate Mickey where the ships or subs maybe.
I didn't expect to see this here. The QH-50 vehicle, which is an unmanned, remote-controlled observation, I believe, a helicopter. I remember reading about this at some point, but it doesn't really tell you how it was used here. It just has some specifications. Well, I think I've completed my walkthroughs of all these ships at Patriots Point. I have a little less than an hour, more like 45 minutes, till I have to get on the road for the Hunley. Just enough time to grab a quick bite to eat. I think they've got some sort of a little cafe here. Over here on the side is what they're calling the Vietnam Support Base. So these helicopter sounds I was hearing before, I think they may have been coming from here, because they say they have realistic sound effects. Can't really tell where they're coming from, but it seems to be here.
Hello.
Okay. Another UH-1M Iroquois / Huey.
Not only did the boatswain's mate first class display great courage under fire, but he had a keen understanding of how his sailors, weapons, and equipment could be used to achieve victory. On May 14, 1968, President Lyndon Johnson...
This is a PBR patrol boat, river.
James
Playing a video in there. Kaiser Jeep M725 ambulance. Yeah, that's where all these sounds are coming from. They've got megaphone speakers everywhere. This is the post exchange. And the latrine. Communal facility containing one or more toilets, which may be simple pit toilets, or in the case of the U.S. Army and U.S. Air Forces, any toilet.
Caisson combat phase. President Johnson has ordered us to hold Caisson at all costs. We're surrounded by 20,000 DC and NBA records.
Yeah, this is where I heard all the banging from earlier. It sounded like it was coming from further away. This is the M42 Duster, designed and built late in the Korean War. It was a tracked, self-propelled anti-aircraft gun armed with twin 40mm Bofors. This little display is about the Battle of Khe Sanh. Over here we have an M35 deuce-and-a-half cargo truck. And this is a CH-46 Sea Knight medium assault transport helicopter.
Resupply, another 10% would have gone to medical evacuations. Another 10% would have been insertion, extraction, or reconnaissance teams.
We actually had 3 main missions. The CH-46 was resupply, medevac, and troop transport. The book says we could transport 25 fully equipped Marines. I've never seen that. The helicopters, by their very nature of aerodynamics, require certain atmospheric conditions and ambient conditions.
Report immediately to the command.
This is a M101A1 howitzer.
You're entering the Khe Sanh combat base. President Johnson has ordered us to hold Khe Sanh at all costs. We're surrounded by 20,000 DC and NV-8 regulars. We're being hit by constant artillery and rocket fire. You are about to experience the longest and bloodiest engagement of the Vietnam War. Report immediately to the command post.
This is an M113A1 armored personnel carrier. And this is a UH-34D Seahorse. And another UH-1H Iroquois/Huey. Gotta love them, but they're everywhere. This is a guard tower we're going up. Sound effects are very convincing here. Lots of good subsonics. I don't know where they've got those hidden, but it's surround sound, so it's coming from everywhere. Helicopters flying past have a realistic sweep as they pass over, and when they get really close, the amplitude increases and there's sort of a thrumming in the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some buried transducers to create that effect. Here's one of them right here. They're all over the place.
Russ, you gotta go out.
It's nice and hot out here.
That's fine, or bye, but just I'll have them call you.
All right, after a quick pulled pork with barbecue sauce sandwich and some Cool Ranch Tostitos and a Coke, I feel refreshed. It's time to leave Patriots Point and head over to the Hunley.